Captain, your log, please.
559 9 in dive in have 9 on as first planet kind of part of the but that a problem in or in forge out of right now in our next mission.
Okay. As mentioned, and you have successfully completed 2 weeks of reinforcing the infrastructure here. Air dock, you gave everyone 2,000 people on the planet a check over and helped reinforce their medical supplies. Maldone, you helped reinforce their infrastructure and get their power grid back online, and introduced some new replicators and transporter tech. And Commander Eric Calder, you did indeed successfully convince these people to join the Federation and rejoin your efforts as part of the Silk Road.
So how much is mainly in our ships stockpiled after doing all the reinforcing and
you still have some left in there. You kind of have loaded up on DSE. For our custom mission, you probably have 75% of your stock left.
Okay, so we don't need to call in ship to bring in supplies, so we're good.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything you would like to do in the meantime? Because you probably have a good week's travel ahead of you.
Let's get a status check from all the departments to see if ready in our 1 week.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a presence command difficulty 2 to get that status check.
Okay, take a step. That is 5 success.
Excellent. 3 momentum generated. As unless any of the players present have something to bring up, everything is good to go. L, anything to report from sciences?
Sorry, I was distracted.
We're going around the bridge doing a system check.
L will present his plan.
Well, not Pathland, more like status of your station.
Yeah, status of the science department.
Science department is doing well. Also normal. We are mapping the sector as quickly as we can. That's it.
That's good.
Commander Aromatics. Anything to report from engineering?
Max reports to ship in both ship shape, crystal fat.
Good work.
And
Med
Dr.
Bay
Bog.
Med Bay is fully stocked and ready for any trouble.
Excellent. As you slip off into space. You have the first day seems to go out by uneventful. Is there any RP or personal projects that you would like to work on at this time? Because the ship is kind of running itself.
That'd be good. On Blair Pupanut go on yellow L. Do a passive sense. Well, a passive scan.
Passive scan?
Like a
What, long range?
yeah. Have our sense that is active in case they pick up something.
Right, here is a passive sensor scan.
Plus the ship.
I don't think the ship's gonna be that needed.
Yeah, you could earn more momentum.
Probably not, because that might max it out anyways.
What do I roll for the ship? Sensors,
Sensor science.
science? There you go.
Ooh.
See, that's why I didn't want the ship rolled.
Do you wish to quash that?
Yes.
I was gonna have fun with that too. Your ship sensors are set to a passive scan, but at first you set the resolution a little too small, so instead of scanning, every like cubic AU or something to see if anything's interesting, you set the resolution down to where it was scanning every individual cubic meter of space, and you were just getting a ton, like just petabytes of data flooding into your system. Like, whoa, hold on, stop. But
It's more like, ooh, practical joke later.
Practical joke later.
Yeah. But transfer that data to somebody's pad later.
Give me a control engineering difficulty 1.
Control engineering difficulty 1.
Mm-hmm.
Computers focus.
Yes. Unfortunately, when you purge the cache, you deleted all that extra data, so you're unable to hold on to that for later use. Darn. But you've found some interesting in dust formations. There's actually indications of ion trails scrubbing back and forth, indicating some sublight ship travel in the area within the past month or so, and some sublight travel.
Ooh, that means that they are really close, probably still.
Within the past month, probably just someone stopped to do something and warped off. You do find, and one thing of note, particular metallic trail, some sort of like little flecks of ionized iron and steel.
Does that correlate with the ion trail?
It does not. It seems to wander off in its own direction.
Can I do a active scan for both things?
Reason in science, difficulty 3 brought down to difficulty 2 because of your wonderful sensors.
Reason science. And let me get an extra die with a momentum.
And sensor science.
Bob, can you do better this time?
Well, no promises, but let's see here.
But I need those promises.
I got two momentum, and 1 complication.
Yes, quash it.
Okay.
We'll take the break even there. Again.
There's so many complications.
Yeah, it's kind of a complicated plot.
It was he had double entendre, meaning complications with the game day.
You find out that these are. It seems like a debris trail that is incredibly old and slightly irradiated. Just tiny flecks of metal, steel, some carbon, and that are heavily irradiated by proximity to a fission and reactor.
Okay, cross-reference that with known ship.
For 1 momentum. Or
Don't I get a free question?
You do get a question. The radiation is unusual. Is not something you generally use with ships with people on them, or a heck of a lot of shielding, because this is like this is a dirty type of radiation from like uranium. This isn't even infusion radiation. This is fission radiation. And also the metallic flakes you're finding is very, very primitive. Steel, iron, some carbon, and fibers, aluminum. It's not duranium.
Okay, and what about the ion trail? For that.
The iron trail passes close to it, but it's moving at a like 90-degree angle to it. So and also, oh, you think the timescales don't match up because the ion trail is at least a month old. This metallic flake trail, you're talking years, possibly centuries old.
Okay. Well, see, the thing is, because the ion trail, if it's at sublight, even if it's a month old, we could catch up in a matter of, hours. Just so, even less than 5 or 6 hours if they're at sublight. The other thing.
The sublight trail is just them being at sublight at the time. So they dropped out of warp, puttered around on sublight for a little while, and then jumped back to warp.
Gotcha. Okay.
So whatever ship left that ion trail there is probably warp capable.
I will let the captain know about both things and say we should probably check out the metallic one. Or we could check out the metallic one.
Yeah.
Might lead to some interesting discovery.
Indeed. Maddox, you have a day or two left to whatever devices you wish to do.
Or vices.
Or vices.
Whiskey on the rocks, hold the rocks.
That could definitely happen. Would you take this in your quarters, or would you be in the officer's lounge?
I would never drink on duty, as far as you know.
Oh, yeah.
Look at.
Anyway, seriously.
No, I was assuming this was like off duty.
Yeah. Maddox keeps some good old Southern sipping whiskey somewhere in his quarters at all times.
And the moment Elle sees him drinking anywhere else, he's going to challenge him to a game of tri-dimensional chess.
But Maddox would probably try to work on enhancing the shields a little bit or catching up on his engineering journals.
Okay, we could do one or two of those. What specifically would you like to do with the shields?
Probably enhance the strength of them, I guess.
Okay. I could. Yeah, we could throw something in together here. Reason engineering difficulty 3 to look over the specs and see if there's anything you could tighten up to make it better.
Last time I could use Starship Power Systems for focus.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll burn 1 momentum for a third dive.
I'll take the first one. Gain that momentum back. It's not a lot because shields are usually a heavily engineered part of the ship anyways. However, through a modified extended task, as you could make an advantage. Can I show this to players? Show to players. Make an advantage that would bring down the difficulty of the modulate shields task. So next time you need to modulate shields, would be a difficulty 1, which could possibly mean more momentum to increase the resistance for that task.
I believe Tactical would probably appreciate that little bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Author sent you a message. I think you might be interested.
All right, message receive. Eve L. Yeah, let's make this difficulty 3. Magnitude 3. At least 1 resistance on there. There we go. Control engineering, airing work track 11, starting off at difficulty 3, magnitude 3, and 1 resistance.
Okay, let's start with 1 momentum for a third done.
All right.
Like to re-roll the 0.
Okay. There it is. Three successes on the nose. So roll me 7 challenge dice and see how much work we can get done. And that is 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 out of 11, and you already got 1 magnitude done. Wait, you did. All right, so already on your first day of work, you are about halfway done with your calculations and tweaks. So now we're down to control engineering difficulty 2.
Okay, I'll use the last momentum for a third done.
All right. right, that.
We'll re-roll the 0.
All right.
It's like you already did.
Oh no.
Oh,
Awesome.
should have took the reroll.
You do pass the test. Do you have a means of quashing that complication?
Can I burn a determination for it?
You can burn a determination to re-roll.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. To what value?
Oh, engineering specs or guidelines when in a pinch.
Especially since you're trying to soup up the shield systems, I will take it.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong, right?
It's only the shields. It's not like we need those.
All of a sudden, the shields just go out.
All right. Well, no momentum this time, but you at least succeeded at the task. So 7 challenge dice.
2.
Oh no.
Well, it's more work.
Yeah, it's at least 4 work, but it's not enough for a breakthrough.
It's
So-
the power of, if I recall, Maddox does have a Medal of Honor.
That he does.
So he could ban that and use one of the 2 momentum. Get a reroll.
Yeah, that could work if you would like to do that.
Yes, I would love to do that. Thank you, Captain.
Good call.
1 Legion of Honor or later, you may re-roll as many challenge dice as you would like.
I choose 4.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is 5 more work, and it completes the track. Make sure I get all the numbers out of there. And with that, you have the advantage of advanced shield modulations. So -1, 2.
Do we instead get a permanent 1 increase to the shields?
Not yet. And that advantage will stand and until otherwise noticed.
Sounds good.
So let's go ahead and mark that on the Svalinn sheet.
I'll get it.
Excellent.
Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to put it in 2 places.
Yep. Because I'm probably going to forget about it.
We all will.
But at this point, excellent. Lieutenant L, if you would like to do that at subplot right now.
Yeah, so the idea was to go on several episodes.
Yep, we can at least start on that.
Cool. Alright, so L's gonna go to he's in the science lab, and all of a sudden he starts feeling really claustrophobic. It's pretty wild, like almost have it to the point of like a short little meltdown. Science off.
Science labs are down here by engineering.
Patterson calls Dr. Bog and says something wrong's with L.
Dr. Bog, while you're on duty, you are informed of this.
Okay. I'll grab a nurse and basically an advanced med kit of some kind. Has a bunch of stuff in it. And head to where they're paging me.
Yep, Raz comes with you as you enter. Patterson is trying to calm down L as best he can. Oh, thank goodness. As I don't know what happened. He just started freaking out in here. What exactly are your symptoms, L?
He's not exactly being coherent with other people around, and Patterson's already tried to approach him twice, and L just backed off further, just trying to stay away from anybody at the moment, and like constantly looking like all around the room, like freaking out with his head, and just trying not to let anyone get anywhere near him.
Head's on a constant swivel.
Yes.
Is there anything in this file that I would have reviewed that might have keyed me to what's going on here?
Reason medicine difficulty 1.
Would my biology, xenobiology be a focus here?
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
Focus
Generate.
1.
Yep. So generate 2 momentum there. As it is well known that Aurelians and kind of have bouts of claustrophobia. It's kind of rare for them to serve on starships because of the enclosed space.
Okay. Well, I'd like to use my 2 over and above there to create an advantage for me, in that I'm able to use my knowledge that I have to kind of re-engage him and get him to calm down.
Yep, I can do that. Using your extensive training, talking to him slowly, calmly, you are able to re-engage with reality, and you realize that Dr. Bog is there trying to calmly help you out.
Basically engage my counseling a little bit there too, kind of.
Yep.
L.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. No, I was getting ready to RP a little bit there.
Oh, okay.
L. How long has it been since you've had a bout?
Hold on 1 second.
love game. I did imagine I mean like having some free time on landing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that could actually be what's triggered it. He's gotten used to being out and about now again, and then we've thrown him back in a ship.
He's not being very responsive yet.
He's
He's a little
slightly.
bit calmer, but still not quite ready to respond.
Okay.
His eyes are looking at you, but his mouth hasn't quite caught up with the rest of his system yet.
All right, is there? I'm sure there's a sedative I can give him to kind of calm him down. I'm going to move in very carefully, slowly, and just soothing in my counselor voice. I'm just going to give you a little something here to kind of help calm you down, make you feel better about your situation and your surroundings.
You start going closer to him, he's still going to step back.
How big of a room are we in here?
It's about the size of the astrometric lab of Voyager. Probably the same idea.
Okay. Well, I'm going to keep approaching him and try to get to him to give him something to calm his nerves here. So
But
unless
keep
he's going
backing
to
up.
outright try to get away from me, or do
yeah.
something physically to me, then
Yeah,
I'm
El,
gonna
how much
approach
are you gonna resist him?
Are you going to corner him?
no, I'm not going to corner you because I know that that's a claustrophobic feeling, but I'm going to keep walking directly at you, and I'm only going to allow
He's
you
going
to.
to back up until he's in a corner and has no place to go.
Okay, well, in that case, I'll look at my nurse and say, "Get me a couple security officers in here."
Hi, doctor, and they get some security officers in here.
Okay, once they're in there, I'm going to say, "Guys, I need to get to L here so I can give him something, and he's not being cooperative. Please be careful, but I need your assistance to get to him so I can give him this injection, and we'll move in."
Okay. If you want the security officer there, as support, you can either use a crew support and pull one of the named security officers off, or you can give me a presence, either security or medicine difficulty 2. I think you could call security officers for a medical emergency.
Okay, what do you need me to do exactly?
To get a security officer there, you could either pull a crew support and have either Diaba or Tavel show up and help you in this situation, or you can give me a presence and security or presence medicine difficulty 2 to have a security team there to assist with this role.
If I do the presence medicine, I don't have to activate a crew. Is that what you're telling me?
Yep, one or the other.
I'll just activate the crew. I don't see us needing not being a big deal.
Okay. Tavel or Diaba? I think Diaba's has more of a ground pounder.
Sounds good.
All right. Calder, if you want to pick up Daiba's sheet and help us out here.
Let's told the captain going on.
Okay, so what is Starbucks calling?
Oh, you're playing Dawa.
Hello? Okay.
Hello?
Yep. All right, so Doc's gonna be rolling control medicine, difficulty 2, complication 2. Daiba can roll. Can assist with daring security.
Cyber has dynamic.
That will work. And this is the roll to approach OHL and kind of get the sedative into him.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and activate my Starfleet Surgeon's decoration to reduce the medical task by 1.
Okay.
It's complication 2. I'll go ahead and spend a threat so I can get bold on this also.
Okay.
Don't you only have a pen?
I'm going to roll that again.
Yep. So this is difficulty 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you generate 6 momentum and you have 1 float. And with that, between kind of playing chess between Daiba and Dr. Bog, you're able to approach L and you're able to get him with a hypo and a very, very mild sedative. Not enough to knock him out, but enough to kind of bring his heart rate down to normal levels.
Well, it needs to be enough to make him pliable. I mean, I need to get him to sick bay where I can kind of have some assistance working with him to try to get him rehabilitated here, at least for this small, at least for right now, get him on a level platform. So
yep. Yeah, so just enough to do that. This isn't night juice.
Yeah, quite honestly, this kind of break in a officer, a bridge officer nonetheless, is going to require me to kind of monitor him for a few days until we can make sure that I'm satisfied he can return to work, kind of thing.
Yep, and you do have 1 float. Would you like to use that for anything?
Just that it's easy to get him to sick bay.
Yeah, I can take that for our 1 momentum. At this point,
I'll spend another momentum if I need to do it. I don't want any trouble getting him to sick bay. I want to do it safely and where it doesn't hurt him. And to be quite honest, I want to make sure that there's not a lot of looky-loos either. L doesn't need that kind of, this needs to be on the down low also. So if I need to spend an extra momentum to make sure we can take him kind of the back hallway sort of thing, I don't want the oh my god squad looking at him. I want him.
You can always take the transporter too.
Well, that requires roll.
Yeah, that requires a roll, but for 2 momentum, I could definitely allow you to kind of take the back halls and have security officers screen in corners and stuff and make sure that, hey, don't look here, everything's cool. And you're able to take L back to sickbay without much fuss.
Okay.
At this point,
before the security officers leave, I'm going to look at them both, and I'm quite certain I've patched probably both of them up from some sort of less than stellar activity they've had on shore leave, and I'm going to call that to their remembrance and say nobody talks about this. Got it?
Yes, sir. Understood.
And then from there, basically, I want him to get rest to start with. So I'm gonna try to get him settled on a bed, and at that point, I will try to go ahead and get him to go under so he can get a little bit of rest. And then I'm gonna start studying on how I can help him, what I need to do, because apparently this is we haven't seen this yet, and he's been on. How long has he been on the ship so far?
You started back on DS9, right, L?
Yeah, so probably a few months at least.
Yeah, probably 2 or 3 months.
Okay, so we haven't seen it in 2 or 3 months, and also I'm assuming I didn't see much in the way on his medical record of any kind of indicators from other medical officers that he's had these kind of outbreaks, right?
He was fresh out of the academy.
Oh, he's fresh out of the academy. But in the academy, oh well, I guess that wouldn't be on a ship, would it?
But
they do tours on ships. It's usually like like in the senior year, or they have you go on a Miranda class for a month.
Yeah, but so a month versus he's been here 3 months now.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what I want to do is I want to start, it's probably an extended task, essentially. I want to start reading everything I can on L. It's not L. What's the race again? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with it.
Aurelians, I think is the pronunciation we came up with.
Basically, I want to start reading some medical journals on Aurelians and see what I can do to help him with this. And also, while I've got him sedated and stuff, I'll be looking to, of course, verify that it is the claustrophobia that is going on, because it may not be. It could be something else. So I want to make sure I put a pin in that and make sure that's correct, okay? That we've got a correct diagnosis.
Makes sense.
But right now, I want to, again, my big thing here is I don't want, well, I'll call the captain in on this too, because I don't want other crew members to be pointing at him and going, what's this? I don't want them to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want them to have lost confidence in their bridge crew with this. I want to try to shield him from that, okay? To some extent. So I'm going to minimize contact with other crew, and the nurses understand, hey, this is a patient, this is confidential. We don't go out and talk about how, Elle had a episode of whatever, and then I'll call the captain down to kind of explain what's going on so far and what my plan is.
To keep the crew quiet and kind of keep this on the down low, you can either spend 2 momentum to create an advantage, or you can do a presence medicine difficulty 2.
Do a presence medicine difficulty 2. Complication 1.
Yep, complication 1.
Okay, and let's see. You're asking me to use which ones again? Presence medicine.
Yep, presence medicine. And do you have any focuses that could apply?
I'm gonna say counseling will work here.
Yeah, definitely counseling and just reminding people of confidentiality and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and spend a threat to do bold.
Okay.
And actually, this is very important to me here, that Elle not lose any kind of face with the crew over this. So I want to use a values friendship here.
I will definitely allow that.
Okay.
In fact, you could do that in lieu of the roll, or if you want to roll and gain momentum.
No, I just thought about this. I'll just use that, and in lieu of the roll.
Okay, yeah, because you can use a determination to create an advantage, and with your you use your you use your value friendship. That's a sentence.
Okay.
But yeah, you can use that
I
and kind of
understood every word you said.
you can use that to get everyone on the same page of if you know about this, don't talk about this. No, I don't want no scuttlebutt in the mess hall. This is between myself and Elle. And you can
just not so much between myself and Elle. It's just this is confidential, guys.
Yeah, it's confidential. Don't don't be spreading scuttlebutt.
Yeah. And then once I get the captain down and get him briefed, Captain, is there any concerns you have other than I just need to get him treated at this point? Captain Calder? Commander Calder?
We're working on that fourth pip.
All right. Well, I assume I've given him the update then, and at this point, I would just I'd try to talk to Ella a little bit.
Elle's sedated.
Yeah. Well, I can bring you out of sedation, and that. Give me a second. That's kind of where I'm headed. I'm going to bring him out enough where he can talk, but he's not going to jump up and like, slap me around with them wings or something. He strikes me as somebody that's rather formidable in size and strength. So I want to make sure that this older gentleman doesn't have to suddenly find himself defending himself against someone large and in charge. So I'll bring him out enough to kind of get some conversation going, and I'm gonna pull up a chair beside him, and I'm just gonna kind of pat him on the shoulder and say, Elle, can you tell me what was going on today? That you seemed pretty agitated.
We had a second camera. Hold on. He's going to almost seem refreshed. Like, take a big yawn after a nice little nap, cracks in the neck, and be like, "How you doing, Doc?"
I'm doing pretty good. Can you tell me what happened in is it stellar cartography? Is that where it happened?
The science lab.
And what happened in the science lab that you got so agitated?
Can you tell me how I got here?
Yeah, we had to get some security officers to help me kind of get you settled down enough where I could give you a sedative. You were highly agitated. You kind of scared your who was it? Who was it again?
Peterson.
Peterson?
You kind of gave Peterson a fright. He called for an emergency down in science lab, and when we got there, you were not responsive to conversation, and refused to allow anybody to approach you, and looking around wildly. And I mean, just looking through your file and everything, and I'm assuming it had something to do with maybe a claustrophobia attack of some kind. But I mean, you haven't had anything like that for the 3 months you've been with us, so I just want to know how I can help you.
He's gonna scratch his head, look at you like, I was working on that. the sensor reports. I don't know.
Okay. Have you had claustrophobic episodes before where you've kind of had lapses in your memory?
Not that I can remember.
As a side note, I'm thinking, no, you wouldn't remember it. It's a lapse in your memory. Of course we don't remember it.
No, Doc, I don't remember the last time I blacked out.
All right, so
that was too perfect.
I'll tell you what I'd like to do is just do a couple of scans and just trying to check you over, and I'd like for you to kind of hang out here where I can keep an eye on you for at least the next 12 hours, just to make sure everything's okay before we let you get back to it. Okay.
Sounds good, Doc.
Okay. Worried about you, and want to make sure nothing's terrible wrong with you. Okay. And with that, I get up and I kind of pat him on the knee, and I go and that's when I'm going to kind of look through my journals and see if there's anything else that's could be typical for an Aurelian to have other than the claustrophobia, and look for some other basically look for other things that I might need to be concerned about. And if I need to, maybe even consult with I assume that maybe we have access to a way to communicate with an Aurelian doctor as well, if I needed to, or something. Is that possible?
You could get in contact with an Aurelian doctor. It might be one of the things where you just send an email to them, and then you can get back to them, and in a later episode, converse with them. But it's not like you can pull them up on the phone right now. But you can schedule an appointment.
Okay, well, and I wouldn't necessarily go straight to that. I'd want to do my own investigating first, but if it comes up a bust, that's a plan of action I may go with.
Yeah, the Aurelians are part of the Federation, so it's a chain of command to get there, but...
Okay. Chain of command? I'm
not the command, it's the...
There ain't no command structure when it comes to medical, bro. We just do it.
Starfleet Medical.
There's a I was thinking logistical chain into contact your ship to the Aurelian homeworld.
Man, I got speed dial on all the doctors in the universe on my phone.
All right, where do you want to start? That was a lot of things needs to kind of go over.
Speed dial.
My first thing is going to be, I'm just going to review my journals, my medical journals that I have access to regarding Aurelian issues that may elicit these kind of symptoms that we hear, that I witnessed and that we heard happen. Okay.
So you're covering your bases and make sure that this isn't a sign of another disorder that we should be concerned about.
Exactly. I don't want to make assumptions that, I mean, I'm leaning towards the claustrophobic thing because that's the first thing I came up on, but I need to else, well, I'd do this for any crew, but I mean, you know, I want to make sure I know what's going on with Elle before I start some sort of treatment here. And so I've got to kind of clear all the check boxes before I make an assumption.
Okay.
And make sure it's not something new. Also, I mean, if there's something that I remotely think that this might line up with, it is something human that has unfortunately passed to him, or Gorn that he's gotten, or something else, you know, that's I want to make sure that that's not something that's jumped. You know,
or you know, those weird mushrooms he got from the planet, you know.
Oh, I didn't know about those.
Delayed peyote trip. No.
Okay. So, got two listed here.
We're looking at the first one. All right, the second one, the reason medicine difficulty 3, and that'll be you going over your journals and checking everything of known Aurelian in medicine.
Okay. And
slight complication because Aurelians are relatively new, and they were kind of lumped in with xenobiology.
Okay. And it's presence medicine. So I can use my technical expertise here, right? To re-roll one. Or, well, it'd be the sensors. It's only with sensors.
Yeah, that's only with... Actually, you are using the computers for this, so you can use computers and to assist. And that would allow you a reroll.
Okay, so technical expertise.
And this is reason medicine.
And I'm going to use quick study, which allows me to ignore any difficulty increase stemming from your unfamiliarity.
Excellent. That brings it down to diff 2.
This says ignore any difficulty increase stemming from your unfamiliarity.
Yeah, that would also take down the comp. Yeah. So diff 2, comp 1.
Okay, and then I'll go ahead and spend a momentum to buy a dice. And
Doctor, can I go back to the science lab? I got work to do.
yeah, here in looking at his watch as he's probably 2 hours into his journal. In about another 10 hours, we'll let you get back to that.
Don't worry, Al. I won't bed you. I won't bed rest you for the rest of the episode.
Make sure you tell the nurse what you want to eat. You know, the green jello's pretty good tonight.
And the ship assists with computers medicine.
Whiskey?
Whiskey?
Aurelian ale?
Okay. I don't think I'm going to bother to re-roll those 2 dice because that gets it, doesn't it?
That does get it. Yep. Yeah. With 1 float. Or 1 momentum generated. This could be several other things. This could be a common... Yeah, this could be just a common panic attack. That could be a specific to claustrophobic. Could just be a generalized one. Certain fungi, I have spores that could react in a certain way with Aurelian and physiology that could elicit such a response. But it's pretty easy to knock that out because you've been in space for or at least 48 hours. And this response would have been almost immediate. Centahol. However you spell that. So yeah, it looks like the most common and the most prudent thing would be to treat this as claustrophobia. Unless as you have records of a generalized anxiety or previous panic attacks, which the patient has self-reported not having such an attack before. Did you have any further questions?
Are you really trying to order ale?
Yes.
All right. L, you need to stop that. We're not drinking anything here in med bay. Basically the claustrophobia is what I'm looking at then.
Yep.
All right, I don't know how long this took or whatever, but I'm gonna go over to L and say, okay, L, I'm gonna go ahead and bring you fully out of your so I'm sedation here, and I'm gonna give you something that I think might help with this attack that you've had. I want to make sure you take this medicine though, okay?
What is it?
It's to help with possible claustrophobia, anxiety.
Well, I want to know what you're giving me.
I just told you what I'm giving you.
Tell me what it does. You tell me what it is.
Make up whatever name I need for that, GM.
Yeah. I know in the 24th century it'll be the equivalent of like Klonopin or something like that, but generalized anxiety reducer.
And I want you to take this for the rest of the week. And I'm going to be honest with you, L. If you have another attack, I'm going to take you out of service until we figure out what's going on, and that might be a couple of weeks. So you want to make sure you're taking this medicine to try this out first.
I will take it.
All right. Go ahead and report back to duty. I'll advise the captain.
Okay, and with that, L can leave the sick bay and report back to duty. All right, and remove that. So, 72 hours into your journey. It's been about a day since L has released back into new duty. And we are on the tail end of Alpha Shift when you are getting a communication hail. It's just a generalized audio file. It seems to be a generalized distress signal. Federation in vessel.
Change.
Course laid in. Alert status, Captain.
Yellow.
All hands, yellow alert. Have that button here. All hands, yellow alert. Repeat, all hands, yellow alert. At this point, all the senior officers would go to their duty stations. Maldon reports we're about 1 hour out at high warp. Oh, would you like to do a sensor scan?
Of course, I would like to do a sensor scan. Always like to do a sensor scan. As
as you jump off to a warp.
One moment.
I didn't even give you the task roll yet, but it's difficulty
Sorry.
3.
And I
Difficulty 3
accidentally
assisted
rolled
by the
engineering,
ships.
And it accidentally rolled in, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Science is
That-
higher anyways.
Yep. That tracks.
Nothing changed.
And then the sensors or science. Excellent. So we would go down a momentum because new scene. So you are full up on momentum. You see 2 ships in close proximity to each other. 1 scale 3, 1 scale. Let me verify this. One scale 3 vessel, 1 scale 4 vessel. The scale 3 vessel is registered as a Federation civilian in vessel. Would you like to
Can I
ask it
identify the other vessel?
for your science question? Yes.
Sure.
Klingon Katinga class.
Katinga class?
Yep. Almost 100 years old, but they're still kicking.
Hell knows there's ships, so
Yeah.
I'm saying even I know what a Katinga is.
A D7?
It's the updated version
it's
to the D7. Yeah.
Yeah,
The refit.
pretty much the same thing. It's the cruiser that they used in the time they had the D7s.
Any additional questions before we drop in?
Is there an active battle, or what do I see?
No phaser fire. Both vessels are at red alert. Shields and weapons hot.
All right.
Hail both ships.
I will go ahead and call yellow alert.
Well, already in yellow.
They were already there.
Oh,
Yep,
oh, yeah.
Captain already he called for yellow alert.
Not sure you can call that anyway, can you?
You can advise it, but it's ultimately up to the captain.
I think most bridge officers can call in an alert status, but the captain can always override it. But aside from that,
I don't know that I've ever seen that in any Star Trek that I've watched.
Riker's called alert status all the time.
Yes, he's the X.
Yeah,
He's the
you
XO.
think so.
But regardless, so you're already at yellow alert and you're on your way there.
I've seen Crusher call an alert status before. Dr. Crusher.
Regardless.
Crusher can relieve Picard of duty.
Hail both ships.
Make sure this is lined up right. Excellent. First things first, how close do you want to drop in?
He's fine.
And you are also at red alert. And
That
probably a bit close.
Tinga would be a bit bigger.
There we go. Cause yeah, I scaled you guys up. There we go. to hail the vessels. That's going to be control engineering, difficulty 2, assisted by communications in NG.
I will direct. Systematic.
Okay. Maddox, would you like to buy additional dice?
Yes, I will buy one additional die for a momentum.
Okay.
Miles O'Brien and adversary called in alert status.
Again, was Picard on the bridge when he did that?
That was in base 9.
Regardless, it's not important. We'll drop that and discussion. We have more important things on hand. And then communications engines. Does someone have the ship?
Yeah, I can got ship. Communications.
All right. Channel open. And Captain, you do have one float.
Make this as possible. No interference.
No interference. As the Klingon on commander. And interesting alien and with a smooth forehead and tiny beady eyes and a thin slit mouth, which takes you in a moment to recognize it, because normally you see them with a distinctive face mask. Yes, but this person is a Xanarite in their natural environment. Link in the Discord. Those guys. As soon as the channel opens, the Klingon commander just starts shouting, "You have 3 of my officers as held captive. If I demand that they be released." The Xanarite looks at the screen and says, "We told you not to beam over. Our atmosphere is not set for M class. Your officers are in critical condition. Plus, you have your shields up." And they're just shouting all over each other.
This is Commander Calder of the USS Svalinn. Is there any systems that are needed?
They both are shouting over each other. The Klingon saying something about taxes due, prisoners, and the Xanarite saying something about being in the sector freely, getting harassed. Yeah, they're talking over each other.
Okay, from my understanding, is there are Klingons are the Xehanort ship are in position, and the Klingons want them back.
That's a fair assessment, but they're yelling out some other things as well.
So what are they arguing about? Other than isn't
Give me a presence command roll, difficulty 2, to get one of them to shut up long enough so you can hear the other one.
we will at that critical fail.
Okay. All right, 2 momentum am generated. As you finally break through to the two arguing captains and are able to get one of them and to speak at a time. Who do you want to hear first?
Klingon.
And you do have one float.
Alright, first money. Out and then that's possible.
Yeah, that's kind of what this roll is for. So, and I'm assuming you're still at yellow alert, no weapons hot. There. I had names for these guys. This is Captain and Osar of the IKS Skryton. We are in this sector airspace as part of a friendly security measure that has been extended, and we are asking in the Xehanorites for assistance and in their security matters while they were within the sector of space. When we beamed over our officers to assist them, these officers were taken in prisoner in their sick bay, and they will not release them to us.
Unless you're the other ship.
This is Captain and Zaroga of the SS Comstore. We're simple surveyors, and we were in this system and taking archaeological pictures of this primitive satellite that was drifting through when these Klingons attacked us, assaulted us, and made us and demanded a tribute to allow safe passage through their space. They attempted to board us, but they didn't take proper precautions to breathe our atmosphere, and they were critically injured. We currently have them stabilized in our sick bay.
I'll the momentum get a advantage insight both of them to see if they're saying the truth.
Yep. Okay, those two captains' names. Yeah. You can gain a beat on them. Still going to be a task roll, but hearing them talk and explain themselves helps you have an advantage on this task roll of insight, command, or security, difficulty 3.
Okay, take it that, and I'll spend momentum.
Okay. Oh, we're going fishing today, aren't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On diff 3, so that is 2 momentum generated. Hearing them speak and discuss their stories. Seems like the Zazarite captain in Zaloga was probably right. That the Klingon approached them to shake him down. He beamed officers over there once, and the Comstorm shields were dropped, and his officers are now in critical condition. And the Klingon captain is trying to save face in the fact that he is basically doing an illegal tow rogue out in Federation space, and he knows it.
So how far are you from the Klingon?
Let me peek at the fleet map and measure this. You're actually not that far. 15 to 20 light years. It's like the next sector north.
I would like to try and diplomacy so I could find a way to end these without having any of course happen.
Did you want to roll an insight roll to figure out how to word this, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your intention? What kind of deal do you want to negotiate here?
I want to at least tell him that we are still in Federation space in this not his jurisdiction. My medical team will assist your stick officers on the separate ship while, and if you have that you could beam someone on our ship to monitor them.
Oh, so I see. So, you will assist us in this situation, but what about our the security functions that we have provided for this sector?
Could you explain that again?
He's asking about tribute for his toll road. His very illegal toll road. Probably a pirate.
I would like to check to see if this dude is actually part of the Klingon Empire. Well, at least the ship, which I'm gonna imagine can't check.
Reason con, difficulty 2, assisted by ship's computers con. To see where the ship is registered.
I will spend a momentum for a third dice. Someone will go for the ship.
I'm on the wrong layer. Okay. Generated momentum and back. This ship was decommissioned and shortly before the Dominion War. This thing was registered as no longer in service of the Klingon fleet about 15 years ago. More likely not, he picked it out of a scrapyard and refitted it and rebuilt it himself.
Okay. I think I will catch him in lie and say say that this soul isn't part of the Klingon Empire because he is no longer part of the Klingon Empire.
He grins and wickedly and goes, but the Federation doesn't have much presence out here, so I've decided to carve out a sector of space for myself, and you are now encroaching on the sovereign flag of my empire.
Your empire of one?
He looks off screen and nods, and L, go ahead.
Yes.
I'm assuming at this point you would still be on sensors.
I would be on sensors and trying to scan for a weakness.
Okay. There might be something else you can see.
I figure as much.
There's some interesting things on the map.
On the map?
Reason science, difficulty 4, complication 2, assisted by ship sensor science.
I see a satellite.
No, like I think it means you'll see it if you succeed the check.
Oh, yeah, well, that too.
Yep. But the satellite's important, but that's for other things. L, you recall that the Zazarite captain was mentioning that they were here on an archaeological study of the satellite.
Let's... Actually, I don't need to spend a moment because I've been sensor scans anyway, so testing theory.
That will work. And the ship roll?
reaction. But it's because of our sensors.
Ah, yes. Cursed advanced sensors. So you gain a momentum and back as yeah, everything is set up on screen as it is. The comm store does have a mild old plasma leak out of its that is the port nacelle. But interesting enough, you find 2 Tetrion signatures. One over here and one over here. Would you like to ask additional questions?
Where are they at?
Let me get tokens on here. Yeah, I need something better than a black question mark because the black doesn't show up on.
The pings again because I didn't see it the first time.
Yeah, I'm pulling that works. That doesn't work because I'm on the wrong layer.
Token layer.
Wrong layer. There we go. One's over there and one's over here.
So one right behind us and one down there.
Yep.
All right, and those are Tetrion particles?
Correct. Along with ions.
Double check and see what Tetrion was.
For your free question, and I could answer that.
No, I don't. Why have you answer some basic questions? Something I can research on my own. I still wanted to maybe scan for weakness if possible.
Scan for weakness would be considered a hostile action. You could do it, but it would kick off hostilities.
Okay. Is there any obvious damage to their ship? You know, wear and tear over the years?
I mean, there's wear and tear and stuff, but nothing in specific that you wouldn't be able to get without a scan for weakness.
Okay. Well, just to be on the safe side, now dealing with Tetrions, I would say we should modulate the shields once. I want them leaking in. Other than that, I got nothing now. Gotta do a little research.
You do have momentum for or additional questions.
Powder, do you have a question?
So what do Tetrion particles do?
Tetrion particles are associated with subspace, sensor distortion, and technology. Certain advanced species use them as particle weapons akin to phasers.
They are definitely weapons. Can also be utilized to disable weapons.
I want to know what scale these things are.
For one momentum, I can answer that.
Go for it.
Both blips appear to be scale 2 or scale 3. It's kind of hard to pin down, but they are about that size.
Get a biscuit and have it fire at both Tetrion phasers.
Oh.
That's not a bad idea.
You know what? Before I do that, I'm also going to say, we'll talk to the other clan and say that if you plan on attacking us against these signatures, you gotta do a better job at hiding.
His face blanches and he turns to the comm officer and yells an order, and he is going to attempt a roll. That's
Potter, a second option instead of firing phasers at the Tetrion points is we could release plasma particles. They have pretty much the same effect. You would find out if there's a ship there.
Okay, do it.
no.
That would probably be best as an engineering task. So,
All right. He's yelling at his con officer, and his communication officer isn't quite getting the message. So, whatever he does, he seems to be unsuccessful at it. It is now player's turn.
I think L telematics to plasma particles.
yeah.
All right. In order to release plasma, you could only do one. You pretty much have to be in close to medium range of the.
Oh, we're in perfect position on one of them already.
Yep, on one of them. But to do that, let's do div 3.
How far can we go on a move?
Impulse is up to long range, and you can do that without rolling dice.
Is there a way signature?
I mean, we could just leave the plasma particles leaking through the next couple of turns.
Yeah. Okay.
At least we'll know right off the bat if there's a ship there or
not. Control engineering, difficulty 3, assisted by ship's engines engineering.
I'll use one momentum for a third done.
All right.
And re-roll.
And the ship task of engines engineering.
Thank you, Doctor.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On div 3, 2 momentum generated. As indeed, as you start venting plasma from the warp nacelles, and I'm just gonna be squirrely here. Do Plasma is green. Scribble, 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 scribble. Scribble, 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 scribble. And out of the fog. Look at what you found.
Oh,
That-
by the way, that would also slow their ship down.
Yep. Two
But
fronts.
it's practically stalling their engines.
Would it be safe to fire phasing plasma cloud?
It would be increased complication, but you could. As this ship is now caught without... It is caught revealed in the plasma cloud. With no shields at this point.
You want to ignite it?
No, I just want to subdue shot at the board. Better.
Okay.
Fucking move while we
Keep
have
the
it.
initiative.
Yep, I can do that for free. Active logo.
All right. Zogar is so activated. To hit that.
Will spend a maneuver decision.
Oh boy. Control. Security. You're within optimal range of phasers. You're doing a precise shot, but you have fast tracking. So diff 2.
Just spending momentum for good.
It's gonna be comp 3. There we go.
2 more momentum for a. Wait, you've got fast targeting system. A. But no, that's
Yep, not the complication. Complication's because you're shooting through a plasma cloud, and you are not sure what that could do.
yeah, 4 dice.
All right,
and 2 more
one-
momentum.
Okay, so 1 threat, 2 momentum.
Yeah.
All right.
I am going that.
Are you sure? You don't have to. And that's a hit, plus the weapon security.
And weapon gains.
Yeah, because you're going to have trouble hitting a barrel class.
Oh wait, I still got to gold the ship.
Yep.
What's the ship
Weapon security.
security?
Comp 3. Do you want to go log?
Yep, I was on my way. Had a sneezing fit there.
Excellent. That is a hit. As the phaser hits straight and true. What system are you targeting?
Weapons.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that phaser damage.
Bog, if you sneak, maybe you go to sick bay.
Spend 1 momentum. 4 dice.
Okay. One with versatile to reroll. Sure.
Yep.
Okay, this is gonna hurt. 1, 2,
1. 8, 9.
9 damage
That's
total. -3 is 6. All right, so
Five.
So that is 1 breach on Bear Hall. At least 5 damage. That is 2 breaches, 2 new weapons.
Yes, and I know one thing about these ships. Yeah, aren't they also scaled?
They're scale 3.
So would spending another versatile on PS for damage do a third?
For you have 1 float, so 1 float plus another momentum, and you could do devastating attack, and you could do half damage on another system. That would do 3 breaches total and disable this ship.
Yeah, I will. That one of the versatiles also.
Alright. Yeah, because it costs 2 momentum to do that. Yeah, and you'll be doing 9 damage. Half is 5. Minus the resistance of 3. You're still doing at least 1 point of damage on Bear Air Hall because they were caught in the open. They don't have their shields up.
And then I will have Zogar a swift action.
Well, if they were cloaked and they haven't decloaked, they're still cloaked.
Yep. You hit them. Their cloak is not operational anymore.
Toss it.
So,
So yeah,
Good night, Plague Rat.
quite quickly you manage to disable that one bird of prey, and two for swift test.
yeah, have Zogar fire at source of Adrian Particle Point force.
So 2, 3, 4. It's quite a reach, but you could make it.
He'll spend one more momentum to another target.
Okay.
So what's
Difficulty is he looking at there?
Let me draw this up. Yep. Spending 2 threat.
You're really.
Difficulty 4, complication, issue 3, control security, and weapon security.
L assist.
I'm gonna give Zogar plus test.
Nice.
Let me. Fine.
Alright, but plus 2 to hit.
How much? Did you already spend all the momentum action?
I did not get the one for the extra maneuver, no. But there we go.
Okay, momentum. A third dice.
Okay.
I'm. And I just hit.
Is the ship helping us?
Weapon security.
And it's complication range 3.
Yeah.
Why are you rolling reason con?
What? Wait.
What was it supposed to be?
Oh,
Control security on Zogar.
I accidentally did my sheet. It did.
Does Zogard have a 5 in security?
Yeah, he does.
Does? If a focus applied, then those 2 1s would have been 2 each. They were both 5s.
Yeah. Wait,
Yep, so
Get the correct number. Zogar's total thing 6. So that's 0 success. That 0 is also the. That
And
one.
then
Is
2
there a
crits.
focus?
Yes, he has a focus.
Yeah, so that would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 altogether.
Okay, so
5, 6, 7, 8,
5,
9, 10.
8 successes.
Plus your determination, that is 10.
No.
Yeah.
8 because already added. Success.
Okay. Cool. So you only generated 4 momentum on top of this, so that's 6.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
All right. As your phaser hits true, roll that phaser damage.
Aiming it, and because of being a precise target, that is a target weapon.
Okay.
And they have no shields either. Ow.
Nope. They are still cloaked, and they don't know that you could pick up on them.
Wow, that is gonna hurt like a... I can't even say it.
That is still just two breaches, because one for hitting on Bear Hall, 1 for 5 or more damage. For
But
2
still, that's a
momentum.
lot.
Will be very versatile.
Wait a second.
Wait.
It's got
Yeah.
spread on it.
Well, I
You didn't call spread.
I can still do devastating. But
Yep.
True. Which
As
causes the
you,
next three.
as kind of out of nowhere. What? I have threat. I'm gonna cheat. That last devastating attack doesn't quite. I go through. This ship is still, very much in a bad place, but it is still in fighting condition.
Status of their cloak.
They're still cloaked, but you know where they're at, and you have gone twice, so it is now bad guy's turn.
Where did they get the...
Where did they what?
Where did they get the breaches at?
Both in weapons.
yeah, I feel. Yeah. The one behind us has 2 plus 1 in random. Don't know the random yet because I don't.
As the ship decloaks, puts its shields on like it should have, since you caught it off guard.
Their shields be up on their turn now, or all the way up on their next turn?
They're all the way up right now. Oh, I just hit reload.
Yeah, I think they did it. Yeah. I think they're doing that in attack.
Yep, that's what they're doing. They're raising their shields instead of attacking, but they are at red alert. And I can't keep or anything, so it is back to player's turn.
Bog, you want to take over Magnus so we can get, well, control our content closer, so in up them. Okay. I'll
Be a
do
control con.
Well, I said you want to control Magnus to. Well, could we activate Magnus that way? Way she could move the ship in range of both Klingon ships.
Okay. How far out do you want to go?
I want to at least be in weapons range of both ships.
Okay.
Maybe here.
You could do that without. It would still cost us a player turn, but you could do that without rolling, and have a. You could do that without out rolling and just do an impulse maneuver for 1 power.
Yeah, I could live with that.
Okay. Not sure you're gonna be able to get. You would have to get really close. You would have to get really close, almost in contact with the calm storm. Or you would have to pick one or the other.
On the other side.
He would be fine because we'll still be in pretty much weapon range of him. Well, at least a better range of weapon.
Okay, that works. Would you like to keep the initiative for free?
Yeah. Al, you have a turn. Want to?
You know what? I'm probably going to scan for weakness, but let me double check my options.
Yeah, I'd imagine you and we on this boy.
Yeah. I'm gonna double options.
There we go. Now you can see these ships.
So we're already in combat with the guy, right?
It appears the Katinga is taking hostile actions.
Oh yeah, us. We're just too little late.
Then.
Yep, working on that now. I would assume after you fired your weapons, you would be outrad.
So, let me the second tactical console take a shot at the.
Okay. Minor action move to the tactical console.
Yep.
Slightly out of. No, that's within optimal range. Control security difficulty 2, assisted by weapon security.
That Svalinn?
Correct.
Let me get an extra die with momentum.
Sure, don't want to use threat?
I'm absolutely sure. When you got no threat and we've got momentum spare, absolutely.
Yeah, could be interesting.
I know it could be interesting. But I think I feel like having a boring day now. We had the interesting part.
1, 2, 3, 5 on diff 2, so that's 3 momentum generated. And that is.
Go ahead.
That is a hit. Would you like to do spread or area on this?
Don't really need area. So how exactly spread work?
You get a second attack. You get half the damage as a second attack on a different subsystem.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
All right. Roll that phaser damage.
I think illegally.
You do
Most
have.
definitely agree.
Yep. You do have 2 float from phaser versatile.
That's 6 challenge dice. The reroll.
1, 2,
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6.
We'll go 2 more. Because I think you forgot to press enter.
Did. Oh,
All right,
okay.
so
And
2. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 in damage base.
let's
Minus.
spend the other extra moment, the other float to roll the 4.
You can only reroll damage once.
But we could still do. We could stack devastating with the momentum.
Yep. That could be fun. Alright, so
That's-
minus 4 resistance. That is 3 damage and 2 shields so far.
So piercing. So one. Let's do 2 momentum on piercing. That would
Yeah, do that and spend 2 more on devastating.
okay. So is devastating cost 2 momentum?
Devastating cost 2 moment. Let me.
Okay, so yeah. So spend 2 to kill the resistance, 2 more for the devastating. So 4 momentum spent.
Well, 3 momentum because we still got 1 more versatile.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
2,
Okay, yeah. So
3. And let me double check how the piercing momentum spend works.
for each momentum spent, it reduces the resistance by 2.
Alright. And we're putting 2 into resistance. Into piercing.
2 into piercing, so it's a minus 12 the resistance.
Okay, that gets through their resistance, so now we're at 7 damage total.
Uh,
1, 2, 3, 4, plus 3, 7. Alright, so shields are still up. That is 1 breach from 5 more damage. All right, and now for the second attack, we do 7 damage again. Apply to a new system.
I think you gotta go for that.
That is the computer system. And still get it piercing on. So 2 breaches on the Katinga plus devastating. Wait, is piercing do... And this is not the cheat sheet I'm normally looking for.
Great. Resolve it as normal on the first attack, and then best thing to do is just start over and just start with half damage on the second attack, and resolve it all over again.
Yeah, because it depends on how many shields you get down, and with all this.
So 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. Even if you round it down, it would still be more damage.
Yep. So that's rounds up. So 1, 3,
Would be
4
more damage to the shields.
4 more damage to the shields. That does not cause a breach, and their shields are still up.
Yep.
All right. There's the Katinga shields down 80%, and they have 3 breaches.
They cannot be very happy.
No, they cannot. And with that, they actually signal their surrender.
And what about the little ship?
Little ship eventually follows suit.
Yeah, beam them in because we now have prisoners. And us having prisoners, we gotta go back to DSC to have these suits processed.
He's gonna make a counter offer, or you never saw us, and we go back to Cleon space.
No.
Oh, no.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
You're going to do a sneak attack on a Federation vessel. No way you're getting out of this scot-free. To begin the beaming to the brig, Maddox.
Sir.
We have injured on this vessel. That can get into triage. And with that, we are out of combat. The Comstorm arm is hailing in your ship as you are dealing with the Klingons and locking down their Katinga class and the 2 Burrell classes.
As soon as all the prisoners are on board our ship at begin setting a course to DSC.
Okay. What about the ships themselves?
We could beam in a few beta or delta shift to control those ships back to DSC. I doubt we're that far out.
Yep, as you have your spoils of war. the Zazarite. The Zazarite hails you. Thank you, Starfleet. We very much appreciate your assistance here. We do have that satellite over there that the Klingons were preventing us from scanning, and saying that was part of their territory. Could you assist us in that?
Might want to clarify who you were asking.
Yeah, I'm still cleaning up my table here. Zadrite, the Zologa is asking for assistance in possibly recovering the ancient satellite that they have come across.
Who would
This one
be
here.
best suited to support them?
Yep. L, let's go ahead and do a sensor scan on the satellite.
Sensor scan coming right up. Sensor operations focused and testing a theory talent.
Yep. Difficulty 1.
Difficulty? No difficulty.
There's no difficulty. Assisted by ship sensor science. You got at least 3 momentum. As quite interestingly, this satellite appears to match the metallic trail that you were following earlier. In fact, it leads right up to it. The satellite is drifting through space at a phenomenal clip, despite it having no motive power. It just has a small ion drive, but it is getting up to full impulse speeds.
Captain, we found our ancient metallic trail.
Would you like to know more?
Is there an atmosphere on it?
Oh no, this thing is like scale 1, if that. This is a tiny unmanned probe.
Oh, so could we bring it on board?
You could bring it on board.
What is it designed to do?
You're not sure. One thing of note is that it appears to be a powered by radio. I actually forgot what the acronym is for. Is an RTG. Radioscopic thermoelectric generator, which is great for these long range probes that are unmanned. It basically is a nuclear battery sticking off the side of the thing. and the nuclear radiation and is directly making electricity to power the device. It unfortunately is also highly radioactive, and you need to take precautions before beaming it on board.
Captain, this is very radioactive. But it might be worth, trying to learn more about it. Caller?
What happened? I was dealing with connection issues.
Scan the satellite. It's radioactive. It's very small. We could bring it on board, but it's very radioactive.
By any chance, the ship have the means to store the satellite without any problem?
We need some help in dealing with radioactivity. We kind of just wanted it to observe it in its natural environment, but if you feel prudent to bring it on board and study it more closely, that's your prerogative. We just want to take pictures.
Well, I mean, if you want to study this without having any problems, just launch a probe near.
Yeah, you can totally launch a probe.
Don't they have a probe?
They do have their own probes, and with permission, they will launch them and get some holographic pictures of it.
Caller, in case you missed it due to the connection issues, this object is the same object that I detected earlier, the very ancient old metallic signal.
Meaning?
That metallic trail that he found early in the episode, it seems to be leading up to this object.
It's a space artifact.
I mean, we should notify a DC because our ship is not fit to store this without risking the lives of the crew.
You could flag this and have the ecliptic come out as well.
Yeah, I think what kind of ship is the subject again?
It's a Nova class S, and it's a science boat.
Yeah, I think this is something that the subject can do.
They don't need a rush. If there's other tasks for them to do, they can finish those first and pick this up when they get a chance.
Yeah, that's the plan. So we'll launch a probe for them, and also flag it so that way they'll have like a feed of it.
Okay. In order to launch the probe, let's do a.
I don't think there's a check to launch a probe.
There is.
It depends. And control science, and it's difficulty 1.
I'm looking at it, and it says not a task, no difficulty.
I'm also increasing the complication because this is a delicate ancient artifact. So I'm more rolling to see if you break this thing, because that would be sad.
Not going to argue with you, but technically you don't have the threat to spend.
this was part of the nature of interacting with this thing is increase use
Alright.
complication just because it's
Got it.
very delicate.
So, 2
Yep.
rolls.
We decrease the difficulty.
Yep. I'm basically just having you roll to see if you get complications.
All you gotta do is just not a little complication.
Then 1 momentum. And spend 2 momentum to quash that.
That would have been very sad.
Oh, got that complication, but we dealt with it.
All right. With that, you managed to flag the. You managed to flag this ancient an artifact from some unknown spacefaring civilization. Whatever records it has seen and transmitted back to his homeworld. Probably not a lot in comparison to Starfleet, considering how far it might have traveled, but the wealth of information you can get knowing about the race that made this thing, and if they're possibly still out there. With that, the Comstorm arm takes their pictures and moves on their way. And with that, we will end today's episode.
Considering that we added subplot, that one was short.